Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Sandra, and today we're going to be talking about my quarter 3 goals starting for July 1st, August, and September. And we're also talking about my monthly July goals for 2024. So I've already filled everything out. I did work on this a couple of days ago, simply because we would be pressed for time. So um, I'm filming this video on June 19th, so I currently do not have my monthly review done yet, but this is how my month for June is going. And I wouldn't say, actually, I haven't even reviewed it. So let me show you how I review it. First of all, because I don't actually ever show this, and I think it's very interesting when people do this. So I did have a doctor's appointment for my baby yesterday. And so that is done. And then July planner setups we are going to be doing next week. I will be trying to do the bullet journal, but possibly tomorrow. It depends how early I can wake up and depends how long my plan with me takes. And then self-care, it's kind of been one of those months. Planned trips, I haven't really, and haven't worked on the basement yet. And property taxes are still due next week. Budgeting and bills, I just paid the bills. Well, I didn't pay the bills, so usually I'll wait till Friday to cross that off. Blog, I started yesterday, but I haven't finished it. And then sticker design is technically today. Fertilized plants, I'm going to do that today. Spiritual focus, I'm hoping this week, but I mean, the last 2 weeks have not been very successful. And then as for my daily tasks, I did manage to read a short little bit yesterday. I have not been doing percussions, have not been drinking my water. My mom was over, so she did help me do a 10-minute tidy yesterday. She helped me clean. She cleaned my curtains for me in my bathroom too, which was so nice. Habits, I have been checking off my habits in my bullet journal. Water plants, my mom actually helped me water those yesterday too, although I never fertilized them, but I'll do that today. And then my son did not do any of his reading. Okay, so that's how I check off my everyday. And then as for July, I did not do anything so exciting. I just used black ink, and now I wished I'd used some kind of color, but I like this one because it was rainbow. But anyway, let's move on to quarter 3, okay? So this is our time to reset our goals. And while I didn't do a lot of the writing out for ideas, I will talk about it. I just haven't, I did this schedule quick, but I didn't do any of this part because I didn't, like sometimes I'll come back to that page and do brainstorming after. So right now, this is the quarterly refresh. So this is just to kind of like judge my progress based off of the last 3 months. So community. So previous I put 5, 6. Now I'm putting 6, 7, and that's simply because it's summer. It's easier to just, talk with people and get out and just, I don't know, it's easier. It's not, winter is more where you feel more secluded. You stay home, you don't do as much. And so I feel a little bit more that should be a higher number. Family was 7, now it's an 8. So again, visiting with more people, getting out, doing more things. Finances, I went from a 7 to a 5, and that's because we have used all of our sinking funds. I will be paying property taxes next week, and then our sinking funds are depleted, which worries me because we have no emergency savings or anything, and it's been very difficult to save. Our food budget has gone from $200 to $300, and sometimes we can't afford $300 because we have to pay for gas or there's like other expenses we have to pay for. So it's been rough, and I don't know what we're going to do. Health and wellness, I had 7, and now it's at a 5. So I'm still tracking everything, but I consistently keep getting sick. And I think like I'm currently getting over a cold now, and it's like it was rollover from a cold that I had before. And I'm so tired of being sick. I just want it to be gone. But I'm feeling like my cough is finally gone, so that's good. I also really need to start drinking my 3 bottles of water a day. I just consistently have not been doing that, and it's so easy. I keep the full bottles of water by my desk, and I still don't do it. I only take water when I'm, like, taking a pill, or if I'm eating something really sweet, which is not bad, which is not good for me. And then physio, I have not worked on my foot physio for my plantar fascia or my knee physio. So I have to start doing that. Home and spaces, previous was an 8, now it's a 7. And it's simply because I've had like cleaning the basement and cleaning the garage on my list for months, probably since January, maybe even before that. And I just haven't been able to get to it because I'm stuck at home watching the kids and doing my day to day business and day to day chores. Like, we have 3 kids, so we have laundry every day and dishes every day, sweeping the floor every day. And then in between that, just simply watching the kids because I do have a 1 year old and a 4 year old at home. And then my son is at school. So any appointments that I may have or whatever, it just eats up the time like crazy. And I don't have the extra time to do those extra projects. And my husband does not help me with those, even though I've been on him for the last couple of months. And it's just like, it's hard because he does work every Saturday now, and the only day we have off together is Sunday. So I can see why he doesn't want to do anything. It's just really, really hard for me. And so I've been trying to tackle things a little bit by a little bit. Um, but we recently had an issue in our basement, which now I'm going to have to clean up additionally. So what happened was there was a day that there was a tornado warning, and it ended up being dropped for where we live, but, like, in the moment, it was very scary, and so we all went down to the basement, and my daughter was near the hot water tank, and she kicked off the drain pipe with her foot because it was just plastic, and it started flooding the basement. So the hot water tank was emptying into the basement, and I didn't know how to turn off the valve, and then when I did try turning off the valve, it wouldn't move, but I actually got burned on my finger a little bit, and then my husband was almost home, so he quickly ran down to the basement as soon as he got home and he turned it off. But it was one of those days when I was just like, "Oh my goodness, what else can go wrong?" And it was like trying. It was like super super scary, and just like everybody went into panic mode. Like my daughter was screaming and crying. She took a long time to calm down. My son has anxiety and ADHD, and so he freaked out. And then I didn't know what to do. And so then I was left with the mess to clean up. So between me and my husband, we had to kind of bail out the basement. So we just like laid down like all these towels and then wrung them out and used the mop. And it took like a couple of hours. And it was just like one extra thing we didn't need to our plate, but whatever, we got it done. But I am getting frustrated, so that's why like these things aren't getting done. I did do the garage to the extent that I could. I did my planting shelf and I did the toys. But I can't move all the tires. I can't move the heavy like lawn equipment. So I kind of, and now is actually the time for us to do it because we're parking in the front because the area in our back is being repaved. And so we're not allowed to park in there. So it would be the perfect time to clean out the garage because I can't park in there anyway. So I don't know. I feel like we need to just take advantage of that and just do the work. And I'm crossing my fingers. Maybe this Sunday, even if I just get the garage done, then I can slowly work on the basement piece by piece. Moving on, spiritual and personal growth. Previous was a 5, now it's 3 or 4. And I guess I shouldn't say that because personal growth, I am working on my Jane's Agenda, um, like personal development course, kind of professional development course. It's all about productivity. So I am like dedicating myself to working on that, and it's wonderful. I love it. I've been reading the books, I've been following along with the videos. So in that regard, I'm working on it. But with my spiritual growth, I haven't done a single thing. And it kind of is one of those things that's falling between the cracks again because, like when you've got all the things going on, you can't do everything. And so this is unfortunately one of the things that's actually very, very important to me that's falling through the cracks. That and my self care. So again, those are usually the first things to go. And unfortunately, like yesterday, I wasn't even like thinking about spirituality or anything. And I just felt so overwhelmed because there's so many house projects I want to get done and I don't have the help. And not even necessarily my husband's help, but I'm simply just watching the kids all the time. So I can't. The only time I can get away is if my son is sleeping. And when he's sleeping, all I want to do is go outside in the sun and read. So I'm finding like it's a catch 22. Like I can't prioritize the house projects because I'm doing other things. Work and learning, I put it at a 9 previously. Now it's still an 8 or a 9. So I'm keeping busy, getting everything done. I finally did my YouTube intros. And then it said going to be busy starting in August. And I don't really know why I put that because I know next week is going to be busy because of my planner stuff. So I'm not really sure why I said I was going to be busy starting in August. Because it's kind of the same. So I'm not sure what I was thinking there. Last one, self care. I made this one myself. Previous was a 6, now it's 5. Again, um, simply the time factor. Like I've been struggling to get a shower in. I finally got a shower last night, and it wasn't even that enjoyable because number one, it was late at night. It was like 11:30, so of course I'm tired. Number two, I was in the rush because my husband also had to have a shower and it was late at night, so I was rushing. And number three, my foot hurts so incredibly bad because I've got plantar fascia and I had to stand in the shower. So that was just, it was like, it wasn't the most enjoyable experience. So I would love to have like, a bath with Epsom salts. Reading in sun, that is part of my self-care. So that's why I do that. And I choose to do that over other things because it's the one thing that I can do. And it's still not enjoyable completely because I've got my daughter. My daughter's at that age now where she's 4 and she's like constantly talking and she doesn't stop. And so if I'm all of a sudden I sit down and I read a book and then she's like, Mom, can you get me this? Or Mom, can you do this? Or like she's busy talking or asking questions. So I don't really ever get that relaxation time unless my kids are sleeping. And when they're sleeping, as you guys know, I take advantage of that. I call that my focus time, which is like right now. And I'm usually busy working. So I don't get a lot of self care time. I don't get a lot of relaxation time. I get about 4.5 to 5 hours of sleep a night. And this last couple of days, not today, but Monday, Tuesday, my body just shut down and it said, nope, you are not waking up early. You're sleeping in. And I slept until 7:30 and I feel like I wasted my morning and I didn't get my work done. And again, a catch 22 because my body is telling me I need sleep, but then my work like kind of falls by the wayside. So I honestly, you guys, it's been a struggle. It really has. So you can see like this general trend where all of my like areas of my life have kind of like taken a downward dip a little bit. The only one that's good or better, I guess, is like community and family. So it's good. I mean, and that's what you're going to find. It's like they call it that work life balance. I'm reading a book right now called Essentialism. It's either the one thing or an essentialism. The one thing by Gary Keller or um, the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller or Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And they were saying that there's no such thing as a work life balance because you're always out of balance and you're always striving to find that balance and you never really reach it, but you always try. And so it's like a constant struggle. It's like you almost have to give like one part of your mental capacity to like just simply trying to find the balance, let alone working and doing the family things, So it's very, very hard. It's a huge struggle. And as soon as I feel accomplished, like I think as soon as I finished my YouTube intros last week, I was like, yes, I finally got work done. And I did a whole bunch of stuff with Epidemic Sound. And I was like, yes, I finally got this stuff done. And then a whole bunch of other stuff came on my plate, like my sister's baby shower, the house projects kind of like building up. And I'm like, okay, we still have to do the basement. We still have to do the garage. And we never even got our bedroom floor done. Like we still have to lay the wood in there, which is also super frustrating because that's been like when our daughter was born and now she's 4. It's been 4 years and we still haven't finished it. Because again, we need somebody to watch the kids while we do that work. And no one's willing to help us out with that. My mom is having a lot of physical problems with like her joints and like arthritic pain, and she can't really help with the kids as much. And my mother-in-law doesn't help ever. So it's very, very difficult. Um, and we're struggling. Like it's just like a struggle that is life, and we just have to deal with what we have, right? So anyway, it's been a process for sure. So keep moving forward. It says, where have you seen the most growth? So definitely work. I've definitely become more focused. I feel like the longer I've done my business, longer I've worked for, I feel like I've kind of narrowed down what works for me. So I have what I call pillars, which are different like areas of content that I create. So most of them are based on goals, which is what we're doing today, or planning. Um, Sometimes I do vlogs and sometimes I do like art videos, but very, very rarely. It's just not that I don't want to, but I have kind of moved away from that only because I don't have the time. And I've got so many other things on the go. Um, but I've definitely become more focused. So, like, I also have, like, I batch my tasks. So, for example, like today, it's Wednesday. Technically, I'm supposed to be doing stickers, but I've batched tasks. So, I've been doing filming, I'm filming my videos. And then on the weekend or Monday, I'm going to be editing. So I'll edit like, 2 videos at once or 3 videos at once. And then I'll film 2 or 3 videos at once. Or um, like I will, I do something called day theming. So I theme my days. Ideally, if I didn't have kids, I would probably do one theme in the morning and then one theme in the afternoon. But right now, I just have one theme for the entire day for work. And then I usually do something else with my kids. So I'll have like, I'll watch my kids, I'll have a movie day, um, I'll have a special day, so we'll play outside with my kids. Like it just depends. But Monday, for example, is my journaling day to kind of ease into the week. Tuesday is my blog writing day and brainstorming new ideas for my blog. Wednesday is my sticker design or shop design. Thursday is filming my plan with me and filming other videos, and then also editing. And Friday is a catch up day. And my goal, that work life balance, is to work like 4 to 5 hours Monday to Friday and then have the weekends off. But there are some times been finding I've been working on weekends, especially if my husband works on Saturday. Sometimes I get up early and then work Saturday as well. So it just kind of depends. Um, anyway, so I've also have increased affiliate income during the year. I do find that the longer I have been with my companies, Cultivate What Matters, and I've also been with Jane's Agenda. That's a new one for this year. And then I've added a few other ones. I've got Clever Flocks, I've got Daytimer, Mead, and there's one more that's affiliated with Daytimer. I'll have to double check on that. But anyway, I've increased my affiliate income and I guess like my marketing to more people. So more people are aware that I am affiliated with these companies. And so I've increased my income over the year. And again, like it's hard because with planner companies, the big sale dates are usually July because it's when like the mid-year planners are released and then mostly in January. So people start looking October, November for their planners. And so a lot of my affiliate sales start happening August, October, or sorry, they start happening September, October. So I find a big increase in sales there. But this year I've actually been finding like it's a little bit more sporadic over the year. So that's good. More Etsy sales. Again, I think it's just simply more awareness, more marketing, spreading the word, sharing my videos. That really helps. And again, more affiliate companies, request to sample products and work with more companies. So I have been receiving a lot more emails from different companies requesting to work together. So that's good. I've had to turn all of them down because I simply don't have the time. And that's not where I want to be. I want to be able to grow. So it's been hard having like little kids at home. It's very, very difficult. And I do feel stretched in a lot of different ways. And which goals need more nourishment? So definitely finances, health and wellness, spiritual care, or spiritual and self care, as we could talk about, or as we discussed over on this side here. So, what I'm saying yes to, I completely did this backward, by the way. What I'm saying yes to is keeping to schedule, working hard, but also leaving time for me and just to chill out. Enjoying my personal development books. I really enjoy those, by the way. And I've been pacing myself so I don't read a book all at once. I break my books up into sections per week so that I'm not overwhelmed throughout the month. And enjoying the summer and enjoying my planner because it's like one of my greatest loves. And what I'm saying no to is being angry, resentful, regretful, or feeling like I wasted time. So I don't want to leave room for any of those negative emotions. I'm just like done, like I don't need that in my life right now. I just want to be happy. I want to be, um, I don't want to resent anything. Like I don't have time for that. So I did kind of like write a quick routine here for myself. So morning routine, generally I want to be up at 5. Ideally, it would be nice to be every day, but when I do go to karaoke, I stay up till 3. So getting up at 5 is a little bit not going to happen. It's a little bit out of my league. I can't do 2 hours of sleep. I can do 4 or 5, but I cannot do two. Um, Coffee, planner, follow my highlight. So that's what I talk about. That came from the book Make Time. And it's basically my day theme. So, in other words, it's another word for my day theme. It's the most important task that I want to get done that day. Okay, read, breakfast, and then no school over summer. So, when I do my July planner setup, it's going to change a little bit. I'm going to change my layout, my planner. And then evening routine, 8 p.m. kids baths, 9 p.m. all kids in bed, 9:30 watch TV, and then I want to get to bed at least by 11, like be in bed. Okay, and weekend routine is just reset. So Sunday, clean the fridge, get groceries, swimming, and then just prep for the next day. Okay, so before we get into the goals, I just want to show you this. I just wrote a quick weekly rhythm. This is my new one for summer, so I won't be taking my son to school anymore, and I'll be letting the kids sleep in a little bit. I don't think it's necessary to wake them up at 7:30 every day. I'm hoping my son still has a nap, even if it's like cut down to like a 2 hour nap, that's okay. But I still want them to be in bed by 9 and I still want to be in bed by 11. And like I said, ideally, if I can wake up almost every day at 5, that would be perfect. Okay, so back to goals. Now, I based my goals again on the things that I have left to do. So again, they change by season, right? So like come November, um, well, I guess October, September, October, November, I'll be increased work. So I'm a lot busier at that point. So I've got, like my affiliate income companies, I've got my planner setups, but I'll also be seeing an increase in Etsy sales. And then I'll also be getting ready for Christmas. So just kind of like with the change of seasons, different things happen in that year. Obviously, like my goal starting in November will be to shovel every day. um, but for summer, so basement, the biggest thing right now, for the month of July, I think it's July 13th, I've got my sister's baby shower. And now we're not having any more kids, but my sister is having a baby. She's having a baby boy, and he's due in September. And I'm going to be giving all of my baby stuff to my sister. And that is going to be one of the things that helps me clear out my basement. My basement is a big old mess right now. Like it is a huge mess, not to mention the flood that happened. And everything where the flood was, it was protected because I've raised it up off the ground. I had Rubbermaid containers and everything was plastic, so that was good. And it only flooded like an inch, so it wasn't like a huge flood. Um, but it was mostly having to dry it out and stuff and make sure, like, because bugs are attracted to moisture. So I just have to be careful. And our basement is not finished. So that was a really big, like, that was a bonus. So anyway, so my next task is simply to work on one container at a time and just kind of like, concentrate on doing that. And I have a lot of mementos in the basement, a lot of things I wanted to cherish and hold on to, and I'm trying to let go. I'm trying to sell things. I'm trying to give things away. I did a big movement last year when I got my friend to help me, but I want to continue doing that. And I don't think I want to do a garage sale. I think I'm just ready to let go. But one of the things is letting go of the baby stuff. And it does kind of kill me because I don't want to be done, like, not necessarily having done having babies because I'm 42 and now I feel like if I was to have more children, I'd be taking a risk and I don't want to do that. And our baby does have cystic fibrosis and it just makes it really difficult. Um, and the fact that we have a chance now that we are aware of that chance that future babies could be born with cystic fibrosis, I don't want to do that. It's like an informed, conscious decision that we chose not to. I mean, if everything was good, we might very well have tried for a fourth baby. But I think also if we had started earlier, I would have been more prone to have another child. Because my kids right now, they're like, Mom, we want a baby sister. And I would love to have a daughter. But as you guys are aware, that is not in my hands. It is not within my control. So, I mean, it very well could be another boy. And I just feel like I don't think I could be pregnant again at the age of 42. I mean, I know physically I could do it. I think. I don't know, because it was very hard to push out my fourth or my third baby. It was very hard. I struggled a lot, but I I just don't see it in my future. Like I feel like now it's time to move on and to start like seeing my kids grow up and to focus on their activities and stuff and my business. So anyway, enough is said, but I want to move on, pass on my baby stuff to my sister, and then that will also help to clear out our basement. Okay, so that's a big, big project. But I really need to start doing it. Like I want to start focusing on that. Okay, read 100 books for 2024. I think I'm only on book 16. So I don't know. I'm still striving towards that goal, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Garage cleanup and yard maintenance. So yard maintenance is a constant, not a constant struggle because I actually enjoy doing the yard stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do because I'm outside, I'm getting my vitamin D, I'm doing the things. I love working with my plants. My husband mows the grass and I take care of my plants. I fertilize them, I weed the garden, I water my plants, I prune, like I do all of that stuff. And one of my goals is to actually trim the dead branches off our bush outside. So you're going to see that in the upcoming month. I think. I don't think I wrote it down on my goal specifically, but I might add it. Um, and just, yeah, yard maintenance is just something that I constantly do a little bit every week. Garage cleanup is another matter. So I'm going to see if maybe Sunday I can focus on that with my husband. Health, movement, and hydration. Movement's been doing good. Actually, so I was worried about my watch. I didn't know if it was waterproof. It's not really waterproof, like it's up to certain depths. But me and my husband took our Apple Watches swimming last Sunday and it was fine. There's this little button that you can press and it's the water button. So you press it and then it's like a water lock and it has this little water drop on there. And then when you press it again, you hold this button and it says unlocked ejecting water. So we use that. I use the strap I bought from Apple when I got my watch, not my good ones. And it was amazing. And it tracked how many calories I burned. And it was like over 11,000 steps that day and like over 1,000 calories. So it was amazing because I do laps in the pool and I work my arms a lot and I just push my baby in the big pool. So it was so much fun and I love Sundays. I love swimming. I love the exercise. It's like one of my favorite things to do. I wish we could afford a new house with a big pool because I would just be in there every day. Um, but anyway, so I really want to work on hydration and like health and tracking and all of that. And then also part of health is my physio stuff. Spiritual focus, again, I didn't write a lot of notes on it, but it's still there. I want to do it. Personal development is mostly just Jane's agenda. Save up sinking funds. I need to find a way to start saving for us, for ourselves, and for Christmas again. And summer trips. So I had Red Deer and family reunion. Something that I'm just going to delicately mention because I don't know if it's a thing and I don't know if I'm supposed to mention it or if I'm allowed to, but something came up and I'm going to be very vague on purpose because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about it, but something came up in my son's health developments. Nothing directly related to his actual health, but this, in regards to his doctors, there is a potential for us to travel um, for the next couple of months, and I would be going to Vancouver with my baby. And I'm a little nervous and I'm scared. I don't know if it's actually going to be a thing. We have to check. We have to get some blood work done before we even like think about it. And yeah, I don't know. It's an opportunity for sure, and I'm just like, my husband obviously wants to come, but if he did, he'd have to miss work, and I'm not sure if it's affordable. And if he doesn't come, I would have to go by myself, and that scares me. Air travel, I've only traveled a couple, like a handful of places. One time I went to Kingston, Ontario, and Ottawa for summer for 1 week. That was back when I was like 23 or 24. It was a really long time ago. And then the other trip I made was one time to Saskatchewan when I went to visit my best friend. and that flight only took like an hour. And so I'd be going to Vancouver, so the flight is just under 2 hours, and I would be taking my baby with me. And it would be like a day or two trip. So I'd stay in a hotel 1 or 2 nights and then come back home. So I'd probably leave Sunday night and then come back Monday or Tuesday. So I don't know. I don't know if that's something that I want to do. Um, I'm nervous. It does pertain to my son's health, and I'm scared in like I wish I could talk to you guys more about it because you could probably help me make a decision, and you could probably um, help me feel more at ease maybe. I'm not used to air travel, so I mean that's one of the scary parts for me, and I don't know how my son would do in an airplane. I mean, he is a baby after all. So, and like of course I would love for my husband to come, but again, it's not feasible. So, where he's going to ask at work if there's somehow that we could cover that because it's only like a trip and a half like once every month. So I don't know how it would work. But it's over the course of 6 months, it would be 10 trips. So, and then there's a lot of like health stuff involved. And I don't know what that's going to look like. Yeah. Anyway, so that is it for my quarterly goals. And I know I didn't really go into specifics for my actual goals, but for the next 3 months, you guys are going to kind of see um, how these things are going to be kind of like taken care of and how I track them and how I look at them and how I view them, I guess. So starting with my calendar for July. So now we're doing July goals for 2024. The most important things I write on here are the appointments. And I was in a rush with this one, so I didn't actually use any colored dots. I didn't use any stickers, nothing like that. But I do have the most important appointments. So I've got my doctor's appointments. I've got my son's immunization on July 3rd, my older son's doctor appointment on the 8th. I've got a doctor appointment on the 15th. My son has a CF appointment on the 17th. And then my sister's baby shower on the 13th. And then we're coming back from Red Deer possibly on the Monday, which is July 1st. And then I put my budget on here and I put paydays and then grocery swimming. And so that's pretty much it. And then when we go to the monthly reset page, so this page is kind of where I brainstorm for the month of what I need to get done. I didn't fill this out because I felt like it was unnecessary because I just did the quarterly one, although this is just for the next, like the last month. So like, how do I feel over the course of the month? So I think what I'll do is I'll wait to do this till the end of the month when I do my review, because that makes a little bit more sense. And then I can always come back with you guys and like talk about it. But important to do's. So again, I haven't put any of the like the new updates. I just found out about this air travel thing yesterday. So I don't know what's happening with that. It's still kind of up in the air. We haven't made a decision. And I'm still thinking. So that's not reflected in here. But important to do's, my sister's baby shower, send my father-in-law a birthday card, our CP payment, and June budget recap. Okay, goals to make progress on. So my reading, the basement, the garage, yard maintenance, those are the biggest things in my head right now because it's summer and I would love to be able to get that done and just cross it off. Another thing that I also want to add on here is my son's bedroom. So we recently made a few small moves, and I'm going to empty out he's got this like chest in his closet. I'm going to empty that out. It's full of Lego. So I didn't have a place to put all of his like Lego kits, and they're Lego kits that are brand new. He hasn't even opened them. So I'm going to take those, put them in the basement along with like all of the other stuff once I sort everything out. And I'm not going to get rid of them yet because obviously my daughter's 4. She might want Lego. My baby is 1. He might want Lego. So I'm not going to get rid of anything because my kids are still young. So obviously we're not there yet. And that's what the basement is for. It's a storage area, right? But my son, I'm going to move all his hockey cards and hockey binders into that area. So he has more room on his desk and more room in his dresser and stuff. So I'm going to put Connor's room, clean up. Okay. on my calendar. So I've already kind of talked about all of these appointments, and on my mind. So saving for sinking funds again, changing my summer planner, and all of my doctor's appointments. I just want to make notes of all the things I want to talk about. And that's pretty much it for the reset. Now, moving on to the tending list and also the break it down page. So break it down. This is kind of where I did my brainstorming. So I've got reunion. I don't even know if we're going to be able to go. It kind of depends on this travel thing. And also like it costs money to go. Like if we don't have access to a trailer or a motorhome. We cannot rent one because we don't have the money. We have a tent. Tenting is free. And that seems like the most plausible thing to do. And we wouldn't have to take tons of gear because, um, but we do have to take like our chairs and stuff. And like we've got the 3 kids and then the dogs. So there's a lot. Like we'd probably have to take 2 vehicles. So we have to pay for the gas money. And it is like 4 hours away. So, I mean, that's kind of a big trip, but it is to see my family. And I only see my family like every 2 years. And I would love to be able to go. So it really does kind of come down to the money factor and this trip business if I decide to do it. And ideas here for all the things I still have to do because it does cost money. It doesn't cost as much money as I thought, but it would mostly just be like the gas money for driving down there. And then I'd have to pack everything. So, like, we'd have to pack all the sleeping gear, so everything for camping. They do have washrooms there. Um, I'm just trying to think. They actually even have showers there this time. But yeah, it's a lot to think about. So, I mean, but I would love to go. And I think in the end, if it comes down to it, I would still love to go and take a tent and just do the thing because we're not going to be camping this summer. We don't have the money or the time for it. So, if we could just do this one thing, I would still like to go. So, it's something I need to talk to my husband about. Um, and plus, then they can see my baby too, because I haven't seen my baby yet. I was actually pregnant at the last reunion, which is crazy. So baby shower. So this is all the things I have to do for my sister, and that's July 13th. The basement. This is just ideas of all the things I can do to keep it clean and organized. Garage. Oh, and then I guess I should say Goodwill, and then maybe still like Facebook buy and sell. Garage. All of the things I can do there. The books. So I was thinking like ideas of how to make my goal easier. So like make a list of all the books I've read this year, which I already kind of do. Like I'm keeping track of that as I go. But list of books that I own. So kind of like my personal library, which books do I own? And I have a lot. I have a whole bunch downstairs as well. So that's something I wouldn't mind doing. Detailed plan of how many books I'm going to read, how many pages, like literally break it down book for book, how many I have left, and book ideas. So like which books do I want to read? And health, again, these are all the things I want to do. I'm good with tracking everything. We go swimming once a week, but I want to do these 2 things, which are my physio and, well, I guess foot stretching also. I do this every day, but just not the actual exercise for plantar fascia, and then 3 bottles of water. So, I mean, I think this is doable. I don't do it. Like, do you guys find that too? Like, it's just you have it, and then you're like, you forget or you get lazy and you just don't do it. I mean, I know that happens to the best of us. I know it does. Okay, so the one thing I did here is I did decide to add my dots that correlate to my goals. I don't know if I kept this in tandem with like previous quarters or the year goals, but I just laid down what color scheme I wanted, and then I coordinated this page to these new refreshed goals. So, for example, anything that's in pink is to do with the basement. So I've got pink just in the monthly category. The peach is for reading. So I've got peach. Do I have it here? No, but I have it here and I've got it on the daily. And then the orange is for garage. So here I've got it here and then I've got it here. So it's also like yard maintenance. Anything to do with health is yellow. So I don't have it on the weekly, but I have it on the daily and the monthly. Green is spiritual, and I just have that on the weekly and just on weekly. The dark green is personal development. I guess that's almost teal. So weekly, just weekly. Sinking funds is blue, so anything to do with money is in blue. So I've got it monthly, weekly, and daily. And then the light blue, summer trips. So there were two things that I realized that I did not have in my goals. That was family stuff. So I believe I have this dark green one here. Anything to do with family or kids. So the baby shower and percussions and the 10-minute tidy. A 10-minute tidy could technically be home, and I didn't have home and spaces in this one. So like technically garage cleanup is and basement is, but 10-minute tidy is like, my main living area, and I didn't have that. So I put it under family. And then the other one, let me see if I can find it, was work. That's right. Work and planning stuff. So that was pink. And I have something there for monthly. I've got my August planner set up, so my content, my marketing, and my stats. And then I've got for weekly, I've got my plan with me during the week. I've got my blog and sticker design, and that's it. And then nothing for daily. So you can see kind of how, like the whole point of this is just to see how well balanced you are in your monthly, your weekly, and your daily task items. And I think for the most part, I feel like I'm fairly balanced. But again, I feel also like I'm stretching myself really thin, which is kind of like, it kind of is what it is. Like there's not much wiggle room there. Like you really have to be on top of things. And like I can't just sit here and watch my phone for an hour, if you know what I mean. Like every hour is precious and every minute counts. So I have to be super careful with where my time goes. And so actually, I do find that these books I'm reading with Jane's Agenda have been helping me, because you can't create more time, right? You can only use what you have. And I've been trying to be super, like, for example, this week, Monday, Tuesday, I just felt off my game. Monday, I just felt so unproductive. Monday is usually my biggest, most productive day because I have the most energy. I'm energetic. I'm ready to go. And if I don't get that head start on Monday, I feel like the rest of the week is just done. But today, I feel pretty good about today. Like Monday, Tuesday, yesterday, I started to feel overwhelmed. And then I got that phone call in regards to my son's health. And then I was even more overwhelmed. I started to feel stressed and anxious. And I'm looking at it as an opportunity, but at the same time, I'm like, if I do this and commit myself to this, I'm taking myself away from other things that I need to do. But maybe I need to do that not only for my son's health, but also for, a change. Maybe I need a change. I don't know. Like maybe it was fate, that kind of brought this into my life right now. Maybe I need it. So, I mean, there's always that too. And also to experience something new. So, my encouraging words. I'm a storm chaser at heart. I love storms. So the other day when we had that tornado warning, I did the unsafe thing. Instead of going down to my basement with my kids, and that's why my daughter got into trouble, because she was down there by herself. And my son has ADHD. Like I said, he's all over the place, so he wasn't there watching her. I don't feel like he could watch my other two because he's just not focused enough. I was outside watching for a tornado. The most unsafe thing, right? And I know that I think it's between Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma that have the most tornadoes per year, per summer. I think Kansas is first, Texas is second, and then Oklahoma is third. But and like we technically never, except for Black Friday in 1987, I believe it was, we do not have tornadoes in the city. We have a lot of tornadoes in the country, here in Alberta. So if you follow Highway 2 down to Red Deer, usually most tornadoes and most tornado sightings happen along that highway or like that area between those two, between Edmonton and Calgary, basically. The last one that we had here in Alberta was Didsbury tornado, and that happened a couple of years ago, and it was the strongest tornado. It was an F4 tornado, the strongest recorded in recent history. So I thought that was kind of a neat piece of history. But I am a storm watcher at heart. That is my calling. Like other than my planning and trying to inspire people, I love the weather. I love everything to do with the weather. I took atmospheric physics in university. It was my first degree, and I'm absolutely in love. My one of my dreams was to be a weather forecaster, and then I realized how boring it was. And if I had money, I would be a storm chaser. I know it's dangerous, but um, I realized, yeah, I love, like, I know the background of how storms work and how tornadoes work, um, and like the actual physics, the actual calculus of how it works, which is actually really, really super cool, if you're into that kind of thing. But I, I would love to actually do the thing and chase the storms. So every time that there's a storm here, I'm just in love. I love when there's lightning. I just love everything about it. So anyway, so that's what my goal is to enjoy the storms when they happen. And part of that, like that fear that you experience when there's something dangerous happening, that adrenaline, I love that. I live for that, for when it comes to storms. Call me crazy. I know a lot of people are like, what's wrong with you? But um, that's just that's just who I am. Okay, so priority is to enjoy my summer. And if that means a few things going, not being done, and I'm outside reading in the sun, I guess that's my enjoyable time, right? Also, playing water balloons, like when we get really hot days, that is another weird thing because our weather has not been how it usually is. Like today is the 19th, tomorrow is summer solstice, and we have not really had a hot day. It has not reached above 25 all spring so far. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of months we do have some more hot days, and I'm sure we will. We haven't had to turn on the air conditioner. In fact, I've had to turn on the furnace quite a few days. So I feel like this is a much cooler summer. It's almost similar to California weather, if I'm not mistaken. It's been windy and dry. Even though we have had a lot of rain, but I feel like the wind comes and just like depletes the moisture the next minute. So it's been really dry. And we've already had four forest fire and grass fire warnings. So yeah, it just is what it is, I guess. But anyway, let's talk about our monthly action items. So doctor appointments, I've got four. I've already got four. So I've got one for my older son, one for me. Um, what else? My son's cystic fibrosis appointment. Oh, and his immunizations. I counted that as a doctor appointment. My budget close and my new budget. So that would be budget close for June. I do that on July 1st. And then my new budget is set up for August. Okay, basement cleanup on there, garage cleanup, August planner setups. I've got four. I've got my goals for August. I've got my bullet journal for August. I've got my classic planner, my Franklin planner, and then I also put my I don't really put my compact on there. I put my my work planner is kind of what I'm counting there. But my work planner, I don't film. I just kind of do it. I film the weekly part of it, but I don't film the monthly setup. I just kind of do that at my own time. And that's part of my content planning. So I guess maybe I can include my compact. I don't know, because down here I've got August content and marketing. So I've got 5 spots for this. So my content is filling out my monthlies for my content of what I want my month to look like in regards to work. So that's one. The second one is my planner charms. My third one is my sticker design. So I usually do 1 or 2 designs for stickers based on my theme for that month. And then my fourth thing is the freebies that come along with that. And then the fifth is my wow, I'm running out of words here. I've been talking too long. The die cut stickers that I make, and I use an overlay to make them sparkly, and some of them are really super cute. Okay. Reunion planning, because I really do want to go. Still have to think about K days. Oh, and that's like so expensive. So I have to think about what we're doing for that, if we're doing it. Baby shower for my sister. And then July 1st, I do the stats for my business. Okay. For weekly action items, the yard maintenance and fertilization for my flowers, budgeting and bills, plan with me meal planning kind of go 2 in 1. Blog sticker design during the week, 5 books per week. It's kind of a goal I've set for myself. I don't know if I can follow that though. Spiritual and professional development. Okay, and then finally for daily action items, I've got reading, health tracking, water plants, percussions for my son Logan, 10-minute tidy every day, expenses, water, and physio. So I feel like I've talked your ear off. If you guys have any comments or questions, I love answering them. How are you doing in your goals? If you have the Cultivate What Matters Powersheets, let me know how you're finding it. Do you feel overwhelmed? Is that a constant thing for you? Or on the other hand, do you feel like you don't have enough goals? Like, do you feel like you're underwhelmed, if that's a word? I actually felt like that a couple of years ago. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And to be honest, I don't know if I've found a good balance. I feel like now I'm completely overwhelmed. I feel like I have so many projects to do. And I wish I could be at the point where I had like maybe 2 big projects per month and that's it, or even per quarter. I feel like, um, and like, I guess honestly, it is a conscious choice. I am making a choice to make myself this busy and have these things done. And then part of me is telling myself it's not a choice, that they need to be done. But I mean, the world is not going to end if my basement doesn't get cleaned up, right? Like I have to, I'm starting to think in terms of choices and what I'm choosing to do and what I'm not choosing to do. So I'm trying to be more assertive and more kind of focused. Like, this is my choice. This is what I'm doing. It's not anyone else's fault if it doesn't get done. But if it does get done, I do feel super proud. Like when my projects get done that I've aimed for and they get done, I am so happy and I am so proud of myself. And that's sometimes I feel like part of the reason I do the things I do, because I like that feeling of achievement. It makes me feel good. And in a world where, we're struggling to pay for food, we're struggling with our kids, we're struggling to get all the things done, I feel like we need to take what we can get. So when we get stuff done, we do need to celebrate our success, which was in another book that I read. But it's true because it makes you feel good. And when you feel good, you do more things. And it's not always about doing the things and being productive, but it's about how you feel. And like, if the bathroom doesn't get cleaned, but you've spent the day with your kids having fun, that's also an achievement. And your kids are happy, you're happy, and I mean, you might not be completely happy because you haven't got the bathroom clean, but at least you were able to spend quality time with your kids, and that's more important than cleaning the bathroom. So, at least in my opinion. Leave me comments, like tell me how you're doing in your power sheets, or even if you don't have power sheets and you're just simply goal planning on your own, let me know how you're doing because I want to inspire everybody and I want to inspire other people to be productive, but also in the last few weeks, I've been like, reading these books from Jane's Agenda from like the professional development perspective and realizing that, like I don't want to burn myself out and I don't have to do all the things. It is my choice to do all the things. And I also don't want to make it look like I'm superwoman, like I'm doing everything and I'm successful at it. Like when I went to my son's doctor appointment yesterday, that's what she said. She's like, when I look at you, I see a successful mother, a successful woman. Like you're winning at life. You're doing all the things. You're able to balance your kids. You're able to balance your work. You're able to do all the things. Like I pretty much at the end of the day, if my kids are still alive, I feel like I did a good job. you know, like I'm trying to celebrate even the basic things, right? Um, like, I mean, my kids aren't miserable at the end of the day. Like, they're tired usually, but they're not completely miserable. And it might be a stressful day. And once the kids are in bed, I take a big sigh of relief. But I think that's all moms and dads, right? It's not just me. I'm not alone. And yeah, I hope that you guys are like, I feel like even it doesn't matter how much you have on your power sheets or how much you have on your plate or in your planner. I feel like if you feel successful after the end of the day, that's kind of what you need to do. You don't have to push yourself like I push myself. I'm an overachiever. I'm an Aries. I'm a type A personality. That's just what I do. It's who I am. And if I don't do all the things, I don't feel successful. And that's something that I'm working on, because I'm also working on taking time for myself. And like, as you guys can see, self-care is important. I'm tracking it every month. My physio is important. Sleep is important. I just never get enough. So I just want you to know that, like, just because your power sheets doesn't look like mine, it does not mean you are not successful. So take every moment to celebrate your success, even if it's small. It doesn't matter. And I'd love to hear from you guys and tell me how you're doing and how you're feeling. And I hope you're in a positive space. And I'm trying to get to that positive space as well. So thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you for watching and following along. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new, I would love if you would subscribe. And even if you're not new and you've just been watching and just haven't subscribed yet, I would love if you would, because it would really help out. Also, other things that help out my channel are sharing my videos, leaving comments, any activity, like any activity such as that, like the sharing and the comments, really helps with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you for everybody who leaves comments and who shares my videos. And last but not least, press the bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload new content. And I will see you guys in my next video. Remember, next week, I guess this video is actually posting next week. So while you're watching this, I will also have my setups for July. So I hope you enjoy those. They will be going into summer mode. So my planner is going to be a little bit more laid back and not as business focused. Well, my planner is never business focused because I have an entire other planner for that, but it's a little bit less busy, I guess, if you want to call it. So thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.